I'm going to rank the 14 playoff teams from worst to best. Let's get started. Now, the 4 teams that just missed the top 10 in order. Number 14 is the Carolina Panthers. Look, you make the playoffs with a losing record. I don't think there's any controversy in saying they are in last place. Number 13, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, and for as good as Justin Herbert is, that O-line is absolutely garbage. And as good as the defense is, the offensive pieces that they have in place just don't match up well against the other players in this playoffs. At number 12, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, will Aaron Rodgers come back next year? Is he done? Any game now could be Aaron Rodgers' last game of his career. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a weird team to figure out. They've played some great games and they've laid some duds. So I got them at 12 just for inconsistency alone. And at number 11, just missing out of the top 10, is the Houston Texans. Man, what a turnaround. I left them for dead early on in the year. What a surgence later in the year, led by that amazing defense, but still, they're just outside my top 10. And just barely making the top 10, at number 10, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Look, if they were healthy, they'd be much higher on my list. But for right now, it's like they're a car that's running out of gas at the finish line. They are so beat up. I have them on my top 10 basically just for coaching alone. They're a really well-coached team with Kyle Shanahan and Saleh. But right now, I have to put them at number 10. At number 9, I have the Chicago Bears, led by that offensive mastermind, Ben Johnson, in that running game. Look, they had a couple of disappointing games to end the year. They played all their starters week 18, came up short against the Lions. Now they have a third game against a division rival to open up the playoffs with. That's scary. Right now, I do have them at number 9. At number 8, I have the Bears' opponent in the wild card round, the Green Bay Packers. Look, it all comes down to Jordan Love. That defense is a little shaky, but they can get going at any time. They don't have Micah Parsons, so that hurts them. Early on in the year, I probably would have had them a lot higher. Right now, I do have them at 8. I do think they're going to win that wild card matchup. At number 7, I have the Buffalo Bills, and honestly, them being at 7 is more of a testament to how good I think Josh Allen is than I think the team is. The team really isn't loaded with talent. I mean, they have James Cook and Dalton Kincaid, Josh Allen. But when Josh Allen has to play Superman 24/7 for them to win, that's not a great recipe for success, but he does do it more often than not, so I do have him at 7. At number 6, I have my Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I tried really hard not to be biased. Look, they lost to 2 teams below them on this list. They beat 2 teams below them on this list. They've lost to 1 team above them on this list, and they beat 1 team above them on this list. I think 6 is probably a good spot to put them. Mostly, look, for as inconsistent as this offense is, this defense is one of the best in the league. I tell you what, do not sleep on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They will keep them pretty much in every single game. You're asking for the offense to make a couple plays here and there. Can they do it? We'll find out. For now, I got them at number 6. At number 5, we have the Denver Broncos, and I know what Broncos fans are going to be saying. Like, bro, we are the number 1 seed in the AFC, and you have us at 5? I have you at 5. Look, it's a little bit of the eye test that's going on. I get it. I am much more of a believer in the Broncos than I was earlier in the year. Earlier in the year, I thought the Broncos were getting lucky. They proved their sauce towards the end. Right now, I do have them at number 5. I think it's a good spot. At number 4, I have Drake May and his New England Patriots. Look, he's probably not going to win the MVP. That's probably going to go to Matthew Stafford. Anytime you throw for 46 touchdown passes, you're probably going to get the MVP. But I think Drake May's got his sights on other hardware. And look, right now I have him as the second best team in the AFC, so anything's possible. So right now, Drake May and his New England Patriots, number 4. At number 3, I have the dark horse in probably the entire playoffs, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, this team has been red hot and playing the best football of any team the past 2 months. The question is, can Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars team navigate the playoffs? That's the question. As far as how they've been playing, no team's been playing better. I do have them at number 3, though. At number 2, I got the Los Angeles Rams. Look, no quarterback has played better this year than Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay in that offense with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua has been absolutely amazing all year. There's been a couple of duds, though, coming down the stretch. At one time, we thought this was the best team. If you'd have asked me like 2 months ago, who's the best team, I guarantee you the Rams would have been number 1 on my power rankings. Right now, because of a couple of duds and a little bit of inconsistencies, just a little bit, I got them at 2 right now. That means my number 1 team is the Seattle Seahawks. Look, led by that amazing defense. Their DBs are really tall and long and can cover the deep ball really well. But when you throw it short, the linebackers and everybody they rally to the ball and they limit yak yards so well. It's structurally and talent-wise, it's just an amazing, amazing defense, fun to watch. And then on offense, very high flying at the beginning of the year, has kind of cooled down a little bit. We wonder how Sam Darnold's going to be in the playoffs. That's the one thing you kind of want to watch for. Other than that, though, the ingredients are all there for a recipe for them to hold up some hardware at the end of the year. They are my number one team. That's my playoff power rankings. Let me know what I got right, what I fucked up in the comments below. We love the engagement, and we'll see you next time.